xSports Network.
Great food is just a short drive to Heinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Heinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
From the xSports Network, this is xSports Live, presented by Heinie's BBQ.
Welcome everybody here to xSports Live, another episode from Heinie's BBQ. AJ Good joined alongside Clint Brazier tonight. Cam Ashburn unfortunately can't join us, is taking care of a sick member of his family, but looking forward to having him next week and on the call tomorrow night for one of the district tournament games. And Clint, how was the weekend, man?
It was good. It was good Super Bowl. Didn't really care who won. You know, I think I'd picked Philly, and I was wrong. But it was a good game. Yeah. And the best thing happened over the weekend, Cade Schultz got to come home.
Absolutely.
We didn't even talk about that off air, but
no
Cade Schultz got to come home. Cade, still praying for you, but keep just doing what you're doing, pal.
I mean, I'm inspired by the walking stories, and then to be able to come home just mere months after a major accident like that. I mean, that's...
Saw pictures today where you got to go to school, got to meet up with Lady Cats, some of his teammates, baseball and stuff, so... You know, that kid will inspire you to do things you didn't think you could do.
Absolutely. I mean, that prayer the other night during senior night, I mean, I'm still thinking about it. It's hard not to get emotional about it. And speaking of that Super Bowl, I was, you know, I put a small amount of money on one of those, like, you need, like, this team to win by this amount of points, need this person to throw 2 touchdowns. I got it all except for Martez Valdez-Scantling, needed 3 catches, and he had none.
Right.
I mean, you should have heard me watching that game. I mean, you know, the odd little things that you root for. I'm like, come on, Patrick, just throw it one time. One time to him. He'll catch it.
Doesn't even have to get yards. Just got 3 catches. That's all I need.
He threw a back shoulder throw to him, and it was Patrick's fault. But, of course, he doesn't throw to him the rest of the night. But it was a good Super Bowl. It really was. You know, I don't know where it stands up in the grand scheme of things when it comes to other Super Bowls, but I mean, it's one of the highest scoring Super Bowls. I think it's the second highest scoring Super Bowl of all time. And if anything in any major game comes down to a last second kick, it's got to be good.
Yeah, well, that's first time I can remember seeing in that big of a magnitude, and I didn't really understand why they took the knee. Why didn't they just get the 7? No timeouts left, a minute left to go. The worst, you're going to overtime, you would think, unless Philly wants to go for 2, which Philly goes for a lot. Yeah. But man, that was. I mean, you're looking at a penalty, you're looking at a fumble, you're looking at anything when you've got a walk-in touchdown. But it paid off. They won it on a. They put it where they were the only ones that could have won that game.
And Jarrett McKinnon not going for a touchdown, wisely taking a knee.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's as unselfish as it gets in a play like that. Well, to recap kind of what happened last week in high school basketball, obviously Summertown closed out the season on a high note, getting a couple wins there. The girls doing what they do best, force a lot of turnovers, big win over Lewis County. Then the boys played a thriller. Grayson going off.
Well, you look like thought it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Then it's a 6-point game.
Yeah.
And then kind of edge it away there at the end and kind of get things going. But Summertown boys, it was a must-needed. It was a needed win. Yeah. It was almost a must-win. Not so much seeding-wise. I think probably still would have came out the way it worked. Yeah. Probably the 3. But you've lost 2 heartbreakers in a row that you needed to go have a good offensive game. I think Coach Long, I don't know if he's going to be here tonight, but I know we've got some boys we're going to talk to. I'm sure that they're probably not too happy with the defensive effort that was at Lewis County, but, I mean, offensive effort, you get those 3 sophomores, they're showing out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, the girls playing good. Got another game coming up tomorrow night here in the first round in the district.
And I didn't even see. I'm guessing it's Giles County. Have you looked?
I'm guessing it too. I haven't looked at it.
It was winner of Giles County, Mount Pleasant. I'm going to guess it was probably Giles County, but it's getting to where it's like a cliche. It's like our show after Summertown beat Loretta girls, and they were saying, "Man, that was a convincing win." What did I say?
We're delaying the inevitable.
I said it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like when Loretta girls beat Summertown. I said it doesn't matter.
They're going to find
Said,
each
you know
other
what's
again.
coming.
Yeah. Probably, if not, definitely one more time.
Right.
Probably another. You know, it's almost like we're delaying the inevitable. They're going to see each other twice. But
talking to Coach Tips, and we'll get on Loretta here in a minute, but I had to get him to confirm it. This will be the first year in 7 years. They didn't do a district tournament in 2021 because of bad weather and stuff, but this will be the first time in the last 7 district tournaments that Summertown and Loretta boys will not be playing in the championship game.
Wow. Okay.
Of course, they're playing each
Playing
other. Finals got each other.
I mean, we've had 2 really good games between those two. I mean, that game at Loretta was awesome. Came down the wire. The game at Summertown, you know, lived up to the hype after the first game. We expecting the same thing on Friday, another down to the wire game?
Well, I mean, I think it could be, you know, both teams are so young.
Right.
I think that, you know, you could see youth come out, but you can also see them playing. You know, both teams, I think they have their flaws, and I think they have things that do really good, but I could see it coming down to a shootout, and I could see one of them blowing the other one out. Right. Just somebody get hot and somebody not be hot.
Right.
But I'll say this. I know we'll talk to Coach Tips in a little bit. I know that he would love to have at least one of those games against Giles County back.
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
I know Coach Long would love to have one of those games against Giles County back. So I think if you're Giles County, you're not going to overlook whichever one you're going to play in that district championship, and they can't overlook Mount Pleasant.
Well, they both did the same thing. The first games against Giles County were blowouts. You know, I mean, obviously Summertown had 12 of 15 from 3. Giles County was in that game. Now the next game goes all the way down to a last-second.
And Summertown should have won.
Yeah, and Loretto should have won too.
Fouled on a rebound up 1 with only 3 seconds left, and Loretta same way. I mean, I know they're probably relived that, but that also has got to make you feel really confident as young as you are, and as old as
make that much of an improvement.
I mean,
to close the gap.
I think both teams got to like their odds where they are going into the tournament.
Yeah. You look at Lawrence County, they're all going to be here on Friday night. The girls are going to face off with Tullahoma. Each side split during the regular season. Boys got to play Marshall County, a very good, very athletic, very quick team. Already beat them twice, but as many college coaches have told me throughout the years, one of the hardest things, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a year.
That's right.
Especially in a tournament situation. But, you know, the girls, unfortunately, had to play, well, Wendy Scott will tell you it was a good thing they played on Monday.
Right.
Katie got to 1,000 points, but she didn't want a week off in between the games.
No, she didn't want 8 days.
No, she didn't want 8 days, and she got that game, and they took care of business. Took care of business right from the onset, did what they had to do, and you know the boys, they've got a really good tough test against Tullahoma, who they beat at home just a couple weeks ago. Then you know the boys having to take on a very good Marshall County team again.
Well, the best thing they had going for them, hopefully you will have a lot more people. They need to pack that gym.
Absolutely.
District tournament at the Ralph is something really special.
Yeah.
And it's really special for your player, but they need to make that a home court advantage, and I think they will. Yeah. And that's the best thing both Lawrence County teams have got in their back pocket right now. Is I know Tullahoma girls split Lawrence County, but I like Lawrence County at home in that contest. It's a normal. It's 6:30 game, so it feels almost like a normal time, game time, you know. And boys right after, and you know what? You could almost turn it into, hey, this is just normal Friday night.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's. That's the way I would play it. That's the way I would go into it because, man, both of them are so talented. And it's going to be tough for anybody to come into Lawrence County and beat them Friday night.
Yeah. Now, before we go to break here and we bring on Bryce Clift, who's joining us from Lawrence County, we got our trivia. You know, I like to give it to you again so you can think about it. So we've got, there are 28, since baseball season's about to start, pitchers and catchers reported this week. There's 28 members of the 500 Home Run Club. Now, I've got some other questions to add through that, but first, how many do you think you can name from the 20? There's 28 members of the 500 Home Run Club.
Maybe 15.
15? Okay.
I want us to try from. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
We'll start at the top. Bonds, Hank.
Yep.
Babe.
Yep.
McGuire.
Yeah,
he's going down the list a little bit.
Yeah.
Willie Mays.
Yep.
Mickey Mantle.
Yep.
Roger Maris.
Nope.
Maris never get there? Okay.
No, I don't think he made it over 400.
He just had that one great year?
Yeah.
Okay. Griffey.
Yep.
Frank Thomas.
Yep.
A-Rod.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just. How many did he even get to 10?
6. You got 9.
And I said Griffey. Said A-Rod.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols.
Yep.
Jim Thome.
You've literally named the top 8.
Yeah. I knew I could get the top. It's the ones that's kind of in recent.
Yeah.
That's just around 500 that I'm struggling with.
Now, I'm impressed you got the top 8.
Albert Bell. He didn't play long enough.
No, I don't think he got over 400. I don't think he got over 300.
Chipper didn't get 500.
No.
I don't know. I'll stop there.
Want me to name them off?
Yeah.
So, in order, Bonds, Aaron, Roof, Pujols, A-Rod, Mays, Griffey, Thome, Sammy Sosa, Frank Robinson, Mark McGuire, Harmon Killebrew, Rafael Palmeiro, Reggie Jackson, Manny Ramirez, Mike Schmidt, David Ortiz, Mickey Mantle, Jimmy Fox, Frank Thomas, Ted Williams, Ernie Banks, Eddie Matthews, Mel Ott, Gary Sheffield, Miguel Cabrera, and Eddie Murray.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the other parts of the trivia questions about that group later.
Okay.
But coming up next, we're going to have Bryce Cliff, assistant coach from Lawrence County. He's due up here on xSports Live.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air, when you need us, we'll be there.
A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Great food is just a short drive to Heinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Heinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back to xSports Live. Now joined by assistant coach for Lawrence County, Bryce Cliff, joining us once again, and hopefully we don't give anybody some bulletin board material like last time. Not that you did, but
I still don't know what I said, but I told Coach Wilson I was going to ask for yes or no questions only tonight.
You want to go Marshawn Lynch? You're just here so you don't get fined.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But I still, I went back and watched. I don't know what I said.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But big week coming up, obviously, Bryce. You got the district tournament. You guys have already qualified for the region tournament. But one of your goals, I'm sure everyone sets at the beginning of the year, so win the district. Got an opportunity to do that coming up.
Right, it's a good opportunity. I mean, and you're like, last year we were kind of fighting for our life at this point, but now, I mean, this year we got confidence going into. I mean, we've dropped a couple games here late, but we still got what we wanted. We still get the first round bye, like you said. We still got an automatic region bid, but it would mean a lot more if we could host a region game in our own gym. And I mean, everybody knows you got a better chance to win. I mean, you host their 3 or 4 rather than going to their 1 or 2. You always got a better chance at home versus that 3-4 game. But it's really nice.
You talked about dropping some that you lost the other night at Spring Hill. Now, I know you'd said had some kids sick that you're just now getting back. You need everybody back healthy. But, you know, you've played, I've played. We've all covered this game and stuff. Sometimes it can be a good thing to lose one right before you start tournament play.
It could, for sure. And not making excuses that we were sick there or not. We still did a lot of things, good and bad, that we could have easily won that game. But y'all was talking about the girls, how they were excited to have that one game. Mm-hmm. We did not need another game.
Right, you needed to get healthy.
Some people don't like those 8 days off. We needed 8 days off. And now we may come out a little slow on Friday night, hope not, but we needed some time to get our legs back under us. I mean, we took Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. We took 3 straight days where everybody just stayed home.
And you know, everybody's going to say, well, it'd be great if they could win the district championship, but most important thing right now is that win Friday night. Because you can't put a price tag on how important that is to host that first round region game.
That's what I'm saying. And Marshall County, I mean, I promise you, we are not overlooking them because they are. I mean, you saw in the second half, which we got a 29 in the first half, but we were hitting and they weren't. I mean, we're not. I don't think we're 29 points better than Marshall County, but we saw in the second half that if we don't do what we want to do, then they're going to be able to swap blows with us. So it's just one of those things that we got to take that game one game at a time and not be thinking about Tuesday night. But like you said, I mean, hosting a region game, which, like you said, I was fortunate enough to do when I played, I'd want those guys to be able to feel that. I mean, hosting a region game at Lawrence County High School is a feeling like no other, and I just hope that our players get to feel that.
Now, for you guys, you're talking about the legs. You guys played 3 games in 4 days.
Right.
I mean, that was a lot, and especially the way you guys play. That can get exhausting quick.
3 games in 4 days, and we're not as deep as we'd like to be. And like you said, I mean, we are running gun. So we needed some time off, and that Friday night game. Like I said, we did some things that we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. So we still could have found a way to win, but we were tired. I mean, I think we're still tired. I think we're still recovering from it.
And like you said, a handful of kids recovering from a stomach virus. Those aren't easy to get over.
The stomach bug is running through the Lawrence County basketball team.
Wow.
So, but like I told y'all before off air, we had everybody back at practice today. So it's one of those things that me and Coach Wilson talked about it. If they were there Friday, we'd be happy. Mm-hmm. But getting them back on Wednesday and Alex Bedford looked like Alex Bedford at practice today, so I'm not too concerned about him. TJ still looks a little bit puny, but
what's another good thing you got going for you? School's out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they can sleep late maybe and rest up a little bit more.
Sometimes it could be a good thing. You know, they're out, they're resting, they're not driving around, they're not doing a lot.
Our biggest concern was not being able to practice all tomorrow, but it looks like we've looked at the weather. It looks like it's going to move out in time for us to get some practice in tomorrow night because you don't want to take Thursday off before a Friday game. So it does look like we're going to get to practice again tomorrow night.
Last few games, Luke is really stepping up, hitting some big shots, especially coming up in the second half. Seeing a lot of energy from Drake coming off the bench, Carter coming off the bench. You know what you get from Alex. You know what you get from TJ. Jacabri has had a lot of good games lately. What's it like having those other guys besides the Alexes and the TJs really and what Logan has done the last couple games as well.
Like you see that all district came out this week, and we had 3 guys get all district. It might be that those 3 guys played well against the coaches that voted. I mean, but we had guys step up all year. Right. I mean, it's so much more. That's why, obviously you want to congratulate those guys for getting that, but you hate that it's only 3 because, like, Logan Boswell and Luke Maddox, who didn't get it, if you may go to a game Friday night and they may be the best 2 players on the floor. Right. They do so much for us.
Kind of close your eyes and pick.
Right. And Luke and Logan do so much for us that, I mean, it's not always the stat sheet. It's not always and everybody looks at points. And it's not always the points. I mean, if I'm out there, I do not want Luke Maddox guarding me. If I'm going to throw a ball across the court, Logan Boswell's probably going to get a hand on it.
Right.
So it's one of those things. It is definitely winning by committee the entire year so far.
What they do leads to some other kids getting to do what they do.
Yeah, Logan getting his hand on the ball is probably going to lead to an Alex dunk. So, I mean, it's one of those things that Alex gets the praise for it, rightfully so. I mean, Alex is a great basketball player, but some of the things that Logan and Luke do and Drake and Carter get overlooked by points.
Gotcha.
And then obviously Blake. I mean, Blake is the sixth man off the bench. But I mean, he's pretty much your sixth starter.
Sixth man off the bench that's led us in scoring a few nights. So I mean, Blake can score the basketball. It's one of those things that you got, like you said, you got 6 starters. You got 6 kids who bust their tail at practice every day and deserve to start. So I mean, Blake, credit to him. I mean, it would be tough as a junior. I mean, with his caliber to come off the bench, but he handles it well. I mean, we've never seen a negative body language from him, and I want to advocate how proud I am of him for that, because that takes a lot.
Yeah, especially the way you got it's almost like hockey in a way. Is like the line changes.
Right.
It doesn't matter who starts.
Absolutely
Everyone's going
not.
to get the same amount of points.
It does not matter who starts, because they're going to be dog tired at the end of the game anyway.
Y'all's rotation, it's not going to matter.
I mean, it's
hard to keep up with.
Yeah. Listen, you see me, I'm over there writing each lineup, and I'm running out ink by the time the end of the game is because of how many lineups we've had go in and out.
And you got the players did what the girls did, with the reenaction of Coach Wilson. How did you guys edit it down to about, what was it, 4 or 5 total ones? Because I thought of like 11 more from that one.
Right, so I guess that we just wanted to narrow down to the best one, which is him getting on the floor and beating the floor like he's a baby crying. But luckily, we're not in the social media department. I didn't have to make that decision. I just got to submit one video, and that's the best video in it. But it's fun. I mean, the kids love that, and seeing all of Lawrenceburg interacting with that social media, interacting with that TikTok, and they just see, because Coach Wilson's like that all the time, as you guys know.
Well, I was asking you. I said, "Well, like he was tuning out in one of those." He said, "You said that's every game."
I mean, he is very passionate. He is passionate.
Sometimes I think you take more tunes than the players.
Well, he's usually getting on to me about a player.
Right.
And he's like, I said it last time. He's like, he wants to know what they're thinking, and I try to go in their mind and get what they're thinking, but I have no idea what they're thinking.
Like you mentioned,
you're a spent guy.
You mentioned off air, you watch film with guys, and sometimes you ask them, what were you thinking? Well, I don't know, Coach.
Right. I mean, and to be honest, we play so fast that, they're going to mess up so many times. Like Luke Max will go down and he'll turn the ball over, and you're like, what is he doing? But he does 500 good things a game, but it's easy
to 4 assists in a row, 4 plays before that.
And it's easy to go see him force one, and you're like, well, why is he doing that? But everybody looks at an NBA assist to turnover ratio. Luke's got a great assist to turnover ratio. So it's one of those things that we get worked up in the game because we see a mistake, but we have so many freaking possessions that there's going to be mistakes.
Right. Dustin, you got anything?
How important is it going in a game like this with our student section?
Listen, man, we need them so bad. And, going into Marshall County last game, I know y'all know this, but it was a must-win for us to get the 2 seed. Mm-hmm. We talked about it at school. We messaged our athletic director, Mr. Calvert. He really helped us out about getting students in. We need students, and we need fans. We need just everybody's mom and pop who always comes to the game and eats, sleeps, and breathes Lawrence County basketball. We need them there because, it's a tournament game. Friday night, 8 o'clock. What else you got to do? Those
and you and the girls are back to back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody show up.
That Marshall County game, just a couple weeks ago, we was talking about how big it was and how much we won the student section. If you go back and look, our basketball players asked if they could sit in the student section the first half of the girls' game because they just want, they never do that, but they just wanted to be there and get that student section lifted up to start, and maybe they would continue that. And they did. That was they were a big part of us in that Marshall County game. And I have no doubt that they'll be there Friday night doing the same thing.
How I know you don't want to overlook Marshall County,
right.
and it's wise not to do that with as good as they are, but how much are you going to pay attention to that second game of the night?
Yeah. We'll definitely do our normal scouting as if we were watching on Huddle. But, we do know everything about those other 2 teams because we studied them so much throughout the year. But it's fun. It's fun that you're going to get to see 2 other teams play in your gym, 2 other boys' team in your district. But we'll definitely keep focus on that and see, just obviously who you're going to be playing against.
That'll be Spring Hill and Page at 5.
Which will be a good game.
Yeah, they took them to the brink twice. I think both of them were single-digit games.
Hey, in that Spring Hill game, they didn't even sub against y'all. I don't know how
they played 5 players.
The whole game.
5 players, and they beat us, and that's credit to them. To play the way that we want to play 5 players and come out on top is impressive.
Of course, you said they had 53 points and one kid had 40.
That was last night.
Gotcha.
That was last night in Spring Hill's game against Tullahoma. They had 58 points and one kid had 40 of them.
Gotcha.
The Brashear kid.
Oh, did he go off?
He can score. He scored 40 there, 58 last night.
Yeah. Well, Bryce, I'd like to thank you for stopping by here,
Anytime.
man, and good luck on Friday.
Appreciate it, man.
Coming up next, we got the Mustangs of Loretto here on xSports Live.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
I'm Mike Keith. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the auto owner's policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretto, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Employee Resources Credit Union is an easy solution to banking, offering a personal, simple, yet modern way to bank. When you bank with ERCU, you are a shareholder, meaning you own a piece of the pie, and we make it easy with the convenience of digital banking, with service you won't find at another financial institution, including low to zero fees and incredible rates. We have the technology you need with the personal service you deserve, right here in your own neighborhood. Employee Resources Credit Union, not for profit, for service.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back to xSports Live, joined here by the Mustangs of Loretto. We got Mason Tidwell, Corbin Reynolds, and head coach Greg Tips. And guys, district tournament coming up, starting up on Friday. Obviously, big week for you guys. And again, taking on Summertown for the 3rd time this season.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to the district tournament. It's always been cool watching it, so it'll be different. But Corbin?
Yeah, I feel like it's like nothing we're not prepared for, though. Like, almost like it's another game, but it's not. But we're still prepared for it.
Coach. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Like I said, it kind of feels just like we're just rolling into another game with the way our schedule's played out. But it's a game we're looking forward to.
Yeah, you guys, your last game was your final regular season game there at the barn, and emotional time, but it was good for you guys to close it out and get a pretty impressive win there in the process.
Yeah, played well against a good, solid basketball team, and I think it was one of our cleanest games that we've played on both ends. But it was, that place is special when you spend as much time in it as what we do. It's a special place and special to a lot of people. But one thing that was kind of neat was we came in Sunday for just a shoot around, and we were able to take the guys in. We walked in to see what they were doing to the new gym, and it was the first time they had been in there. And I think they got excited about that and the possibilities of what it's going to be. It's going to be really nice. So we got to say bye to it for a little bit. Hopefully get another game or two in there. But it was good to let them see the new place.
And for you guys, what was it like to close out a historic venue like that?
Well, the whiteout was cool. That was my favorite part. And it got pretty loud. And that's all I really care about.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest crowds we've had all year. It's kind of like special. It's like a lot of people, the barn's like a lot to a lot of people. And it's we had to end with a win. I felt a lot of pressure going into that game, to be honest. But we got the win, so it's fine.
Yeah, guys know.
He mentions that about the win. I didn't even really thought about that because it was the last game, and it was like the day before I talked to Coach Rutledge because they got beat by them the first time. We got beat by 20 the first time. I was like, geez, one of us is going to have to win this game.
Right.
Preferably both of us. We should have thought a little bit further in advance, but both teams played well.
Yeah, and for you guys with the district tournament now coming up, and a bit of a change. I know you're originally thinking you're going to Columbia. Now you're back in Mount Pleasant where you guys were last season as well.
Yeah, Columbia State, we were doing a team function over the new year, and we were watching Tobias Simone's play. And I got to watching it, and I was like, there's not a high school three-point line on this. So I called Gene and called Wes, and I was like, we're going to have to tape it. I don't mind coming to help. I don't think Columbia State wanted us putting tape on the floor, so that's how it ended up at Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, sometimes, it's the little things, you don't, especially with our officials, you don't want them guessing where the three-point line is.
Right.
Coach, we've talked a lot about the youth of this team, but you've got two guys here who have been regular contributors from the get-go, and first with Mason, Mason coming into this, what were your expectations coming into the season for yourself?
My expectations are probably higher than everybody's, to be honest, but, it is what it is. I just go in and play.
Yeah. And Coach, how would you assess his play so far?
Great. He's, averaging almost 14 a game. Yeah. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Both these guys, it's hard to believe what they've done as freshmen, playing the 1 and 2 for us. And I think they probably had 2 or 3 rough games all year. And most of that was before Christmas, and they didn't have a basketball off season because they both play football. Right. I think they'd look back to the first time we played Lawrence County, which was a train wreck, but they've been playing basketball for 2 weeks as freshmen. Yeah. It was a lot different 2 weeks later, and I think it'd be a lot different now. Their maturity, how quickly it's uncanny. I think Mason's averaging 0.8 turnovers per game over the last 5. Corbin's had assist games of 2 games of assist of double figures, had 9 and 8. He's just their ability to take care of the basketball. Corbin's getting to where he's scoring the ball. He's over 40% from 3 from the last 5 games, both in double figures. The thing that sets these two guys apart is they can also defend. There's just their maturity on the court and off the court sets them apart. I've started a lot of freshmen in my coaching career, from girls to boys. I've never started two that check as many boxes as these two guys.
And Corbin, started off facilitator, point guard, bringing it up, playing some really good defense. But what's these last 4 or 5 games? You've been hitting everything. They've been challenging to hit shots, and you're hitting shots. What's kind of changed in the last couple of weeks?
It's just more like during Christmas time, we went over some stats, and coach told me I need to score more. I need to be more of a threat on offense, and then at first I really didn't take it to knowledge I need to. And I really started picking up. It's going to be tournament time. I got to step up for my team basically.
One thing about Corbin is you don't have to coach these guys hard. Now I can, because they can take it. But I mentioned to Corbin, I called him Shaq we were watching film, and I was like, man, you're putting up Shaq numbers from the free throw line. He just looked at me and I said, man, you're shooting about 50%. That was it. Didn't say anything else. And it was just kind of needling him. Come back a week or 2 later, and we talked. He said something about his free throws. I was like, Now he's in the 70s. So it didn't take me yelling at him to get in the gym. I don't think he got in the gym anymore. It was just, did you? No, it was just, hey, this is important. I need to make free throws. And it kind of, just happens. And both those guys are so easy to coach in that manner.
And one thing I noticed about Corbin when I was at practice a couple weeks ago, this guy doesn't like ice baths. You weren't even in there for 5 seconds.
It's my toes get numb, they don't get numb, they start to hurt real bad. It comes up my leg, and I just can't take it.
He has learned.
He has learned.
He's been able to do it, right? Mason will take them, right? Ooh. No, he won't take them.
No, I will.
It's bad. It's bad.
We have a few that don't mind. I guess these two guys are a little softer when it comes to that.
I guess it's the old football player in me. That used to be my favorite part of practice. They would fill up the ice tubs. You go in there and take that bath and cool off. And you've mentioned several times, I know you've said it tonight, but this coaching a young group, you were excited at the start of the season because you get the coach. Expectations were a bit lower, but man, they have just shot those expectations.
Started out, I think 3-0 or 4-0. Got humbled the first time we went to Lawrence County. Outside of that game, we've had some. BGA was a really good team, but they've handled it. It's been a joy to coach these guys and to have replaced 5 starters. It's been a challenge, but it's been one that's been fun. It's been fun to go to work every day, and just Lord willing, we're going to have this kind of fun for the next 2 and 3 years.
Dustin, you got anything?
I was just going to ask about coaching the young kids.
Right.
It's hard to transition from the older ones when you lose 4 or 5 seniors going in to the freshmen coming in and knowing what kind of role they've got to step into?
Yeah, the role thing, we struggled with that the last time we played at Summertown. That's really the first time I chewed on these guys like they were older. Not that I've been soft on them, because I haven't, but that one was a tough pill to swallow. I didn't think we went over there and played with a lot of role definition, but it has been tougher. Or not been tougher, but it has been different. We haven't watched as much film as we would normally watch with these guys. Trying to just give them little things.
Right.
It helped coaching these guys the last 2 years. I coached these guys in middle school their 7th and 8th grade year, and that was a blessing. They knew me, and I knew them, so that really helped.
What was that transition like? I know you guys played in the postseason in football, and then to go right into basketball. You guys had no break hardly at all.
Yeah, we didn't, but I mean, the first couple of basketball games, it was weird. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, and the first practice was weird, but high school basketball is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you just enjoy it.
It's not nothing we're not really used to, because we play sports all year round. We never really get breaks for us, just going to the next sport, really.
These guys are throwbacks in this age where everybody's got a personal trainer, as far as going and doing all this stuff with the basketball, or they're going to play AAU, and there's nothing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but these guys, I'm their personal trainer basically when it comes to basketball, and they only get it during basketball season.
Yeah.
They'll go to play baseball, or they're going to play football, or they're going to play 7-on-7. And it's it's that time back when it used to be the 80s and 90s where you just bebopped around.
Yeah.
And now I will say I can't imagine how good these two guys would be with a full off season in basketball. Where they were getting that, but they're pretty stinking good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they have a chance.
Coach Daniel likes them too.
Yeah, right. And they need to play what they want to play. I'm a firm believer in an athlete. They shouldn't play a sport they don't want to play,
right,
but they shouldn't not play a sport that they want to play. They need to play what they want to play, and it's fun to watch these guys develop and play all their sports and how they compete with each other. It's a lot of fun.
And for you guys, obviously Summertown coming up, you guys played 2 great games with them down to the wire. Got to play them for a 3rd time here. What are your expectations going into Friday night?
I mean, we've been playing the same Summertown team basically my whole life. It's always fun playing them.
Corbin?
Yeah, it's that's when the crowd gets the biggest when we play Summertown. It's it means something to everybody. It's you win, you either win or lose, really. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah, great.
I'm looking forward to it. Don't think we've played well either time against them, and they probably have a lot to do with that. So I'm just looking forward to watching our guys compete, and see where it falls. And then we've automatically gotten to the region tournament. Now it's about seeding for that. And
right.
These guys have played well enough that I told them a couple of weeks ago we've gotten to the point that when people watch them on film, they're not going to play them like they're freshmen and sophomores. They're going to play them like they're a contender to get to the sub-state. So they need to make sure they bring that type of game, that they can carry themselves like that. So I'm looking forward to the game Friday, and then it'll be over, and we'll look forward to the game on Tuesday.
Now, Coach, I know you love my trivia questions.
Yes.
You listen very intently.
Yeah.
How many of the 28?
I couldn't really.
You couldn't hear? There's 28 members of the 500 home run club.
I heard most of them.
You heard most of them?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't really think much on it after that. I'm sorry. I got preoccupied with the Tennessee.
Okay. So one of the questions I'm going to ask Clint, I know he's not paying attention, so it works. So who is the member of that club? Who do you think has the highest batting average?
A-Rod?
No, he hits 295. There's a lot of 300 hitters in this.
I thought he might hit better than that.
Yeah. No, it's Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
342.
Not a bad pitcher either.
Yeah, 94 career wins on top of that. Also last week's. So I'm trying to remember how I phrased the question. So I went through every school that had a player score a touchdown in the Super Bowl and how many they scored. Which school do you think had the most touchdowns accounted for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, man. I don't know. How long do I got?
Yeah, take your time.
Tennessee is second in most Super Bowl rings.
But
I know it's not them. But,
yeah, it's not them, no. They only have 6 touchdowns counted for.
I have no idea. But I'm going to take a guess.
There's one guy that's played in a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah. Is it, I'd go Michigan, maybe?
Yep, you got it. There you go.
Who's second? What'd be second?
Second was Notre Dame.
No.
So Michigan is 20. Well, that was before the game, but second was Notre Dame with 24. Miami was third.
That's the one I was thinking about.
15. Stanford was in fourth with 14, and we had a 5-way tie for fifth with 10 touchdowns. So.
Where do you get these trivia questions?
I literally looked them up and spend most of Thursday looking these up. So Thursdays or Wednesdays, so drop the kid off at the babysitter, work out, and then think of how many ways I can make Dusty, Cam, and Clint's head spin with these random trivia questions.
And it doesn't take much.
Well, we'd like to thank you guys for stopping by, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we got the Summertown Eagles here on xSports Live.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
Tired of driving into the city every time you need appliances, furniture, or heck, just about anything? Next time, stay local and come to Swap and Shop Center. We have everything you want, from computers to furniture, major appliances, lawn and garden tools, electronics, you name it. Our #1 goal is to get you the items you need at a price you can afford. We even offer 120 days same as cash financing. We won't be undersold. We specialize in service after the sale. We pick up where everyone else leaves off. Swap and Shop Center, family owned and operated in Lawrenceburg for over 61 years.
Story and Lee, the Tennessee Valley's most dynamic furniture store, featuring our Made in America galleries with solid wood dining and bedrooms, leather furniture, mattresses, and so much more. You want it? We've got it. With our 3 acres of showroom and our huge warehouse, we're sure to have exactly what you want. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story and Lee.
Hey folks, this is Fred Webb, principal broker and owner of United Country Southern Tennessee Realty in Lawrenceburg. Your local Realtree Land Pro agent specializing in country homes, farms, and land. If you're thinking about selling or would like a free comparative market analysis to see what your property is worth, please give us a call at 931-244-7126. We market your property worldwide to get you the most exposure, which in turn gets you the highest price in the shortest amount of time. Visit us at southernteandrealty.com.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town. When you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade, and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back here to xSports Live. Now joined by the Summertown Eagles. Got assistant coach Jordan Tucker and the man, the myth, the legend, Grayson Burleson over here. And you guys had a big game the other night. Going to Lewis County, it was kind of a lot riding on that one you needed. You guys came out on fire and got tested a little bit, but was able to hold on to it.
Yeah, we played well against Lewis in the last 2 or 3 years, and it was kind of a needed win to clinch third place. And we came out and we shot it well, and we was up 25 at one point, and they wound up cutting it down to 7 out there. But we needed to win, and we got it done.
Jordan.
Yeah, it was a good win for us. We felt like we've been playing well, but had one slip away against Giles County, had another one slip away against Mount Pleasant. So we needed a big win, and that one against Lewis, we kind of started to let it slip away a little bit, but our guys held tough, and we ended up coming home with a win. So it was big for us.
You got to credit Lewis County too. Our men's district this year, you can't sleep on anybody. And as you had said, our boys had 2 heartbreakers in a row.
Right.
Last second loss to Mount Pleasant.
Right.
Last second loss to Giles County. But Grayson, I'll ask you, do you feel like those are things your team is, y'all are young. I mean, it just is what it is. But do you feel like those are, whether it's a foul at the end that kind of may have cost us against, whether the foul was there or not,
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just things like that or things maybe you saw that just kind of growing pains that you feel like, we're kind of where we want to be going into district tournament.
Yeah, we are. We're ready to play Friday night, but we're trying to play as a team right now. And I think like he said, we've played better lately. We have to know better in situations like Giles, and we should have beat Mount Pleasant, but sometimes that happens in playing basketball. But I think we've been playing better, and we're going to be ready for Friday.
How good do you guys feel? I know, talking to my daughter, talking to Coach Gene, and a lot of the girls, pretty excited that it's out in Mount Pleasant. Do our boys kind of feel that same way, almost almost like a second home?
Yeah, we played well last year at Mount Pleasant in the district and the region. And we usually play pretty good there, so we'll just have to be ready.
And it's 10 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned those heartbreaking losses, especially when you go back-to-back and you're losing pretty much at the buzzer. What was the mindset of the team coming into that Lewis County game?
We just wanted to win. We wanted to prove to people that we're young. Everybody knows that, a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, but we wanted to prove that, hey, we can win too, and we can, after getting beat 2 games like that, we can come back and win one. So.
And I think that's the advantage of having a young team is they forget things. They're ready to move on. As soon as the game's over, they go home and they're on Fortnite, and then we're on to the next game.
All right, who's next?
And so, that's a good thing and a bad thing of having a young team is they're ready to move on quickly. But our district, like he said, has been very tough, and that's what we keep reminding them. We had a late lead at Loretto.
Yeah.
We let it slip away. We had a late lead at Mount Pleasant. We had a late lead against Giles County. You hold on and win those 3 ball games. We're 6-1.
Yeah,
and right there tied for first.
Yeah.
So that's what we just keep reminding them, guys. We can play with anybody.
Well, Coach, touching on that, yes, they're young. Really 2 seniors. Weston Pig, the only senior starter, but you are getting a lot of productivity out of your 3 sophomores,
sure.
Grayson, Kurt, and Coleman. That's got everybody pretty excited. But you're also getting some kids that when you go to sub, you're putting in a freshman.
Right.
Most of the time you're putting in a freshman. Will Daniel does come off; he is senior. But other than that, when you go to the bench, it's a freshman. So how I'll just ask you, Jordan, because you're right there, right hand man, Coach Long. Coach Long never will ever be a consolation guy or a moral victory guy. But do you see kind of where this thing may be trending?
Oh, for sure. And you talked about our sophomores. They're all averaging double figures.
Right.
You can't ask for more than that from a group of sophomores. And but yeah, when we send those freshmen in, we have total belief in them. And a lot of times we're pulling them out of the game because they won't shoot the ball.
Right.
And who's asking freshmen to shoot the ball, that often?
Right.
But we're begging them, hey, Jackson, shoot the basketball. Leighton, shoot the basketball.
Right.
Sawyer. So we have total belief in all of our freshmen. And even the guys that aren't seeing much playing time, you look at Mount Pleasant and Casey Blackwood's in the game.
Had to go in. Kurt in foul trouble.
Yeah, we've had several games where it's Graham Howe, and me and Coach Long were sitting there watching today, and I said, we're in good shape in the next couple of years because our big guys like Casey Blackwood and Graham Howe, they're practicing really well and getting better every day. So the future's bright.
I'm glad, Jordan. I'm glad you came today because that way everybody's kind of asked me. Coach Long's got his assistant coaches, and I think I've figured out Jordan's job.
Is he the
he
get-back
talks
coach?
to Grayson before Jason can chew Grayson. I think is what happens. I've noticed
he's the
there are
get-back coach
timeouts.
for Jason.
I've noticed if Grayson might have a boo-boo or a mess,
I try to get to him.
or some. Of course, you're going to hear Jason Burrows. But Grayson doesn't even look at him. He goes straight to Jordan. So I think it's a pretty good little match to have.
Man,
I don't care what anybody says, Grayson. It's got to be tough when your dad's on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, you've obviously, Gavin had an incredible, unbelievable season last year. You knew this year your role was going to. You shot a lot last year. You had a big role last year. Now it's even more expanded. What were you thinking, kind of coming into this year?
Gavin carried a lot of offensive weight for us last year, and he did have such a good year. But this year, I knew I'd have to step up for us to try to win games, and I knew that Cole and Kurt would also have to step up and be big. And even the freshmen too. I knew, like I said, I knew how young we'd be, so I knew we'd all have to step up. And I knew that, for us to win, you have to play bigger than what you are. So that's kind of it.
Is there a shot you don't like?
I don't like the step back three that he shoots all the time. I tell him, please quit shooting that, but he keeps shooting it and it goes in. So.
I mean, there's some, like I said the other, he sprints to the other end of the court, goes to the baseline, hits a fadeaway jumper. I just go, oh wow. I mean,
well, you ought to call his games most of the time like I do, and I'm
go through and look at
on some of the shots he pulls off. I'm 2 seconds behind. I'm trying to still describe what he just did.
Yeah.
And there, you can't, sometimes you just can't. You just have to say, folks, you just have to go back and watch.
There are times like the other night against Lewis County, Grayson was just scoring from everywhere on the floor, and even one of the guys on the bench, I heard him say, "Wow." Yeah. I mean, that's all they could say is "Wow," and we see it every day. But there are times where just everything's going in.
Grayson, obviously good at baseball. You know, you've made your verbal commitment, and it's probably good to get that off your back and just out of the way right now. But you know, what's it like, kind of juggling the two sports and also kind of juggling those expectations in those two sports?
Yeah, it's hard. You have to, one night I'm in the gym shooting, the next day I'm hitting baseball. So it's hard trying to do two at one time. Because right when I get done with basketball, I'm gonna jump right into baseball. But it's just, you try to be the best. I want to be the best at both sports. I want to go out and compete every night in both sports, not only baseball, even though I'm committed for baseball, but I want to try to be the best in basketball too. I want to be a team player and want to go out and win. So
and obviously your family's so involved. I mean, I'm convinced that there's going to be Burlesons and I'm going to be calling games for them on 80, which is, I'm fine with that. If they keep playing like you guys do, I'm completely fine with that. But what's it like having, your dad's your head coach in baseball, assistant coach in basketball? You played with your brothers and, and cousins and all of that.
Yeah, they're role models. I look up to Gavin and even my older brother Grant, who's a Mr. Baseball, and even my dad, who's all-time scoring leader. So you have to. Those are things I want to overcome. I want to be better than they was. So I do look up to them a lot and try to be the best I can.
Yeah, don't think for a second that there ain't competition in that.
Oh, I know there is.
Yeah. Just go to sit down and eat dinner with them one time, and you'll know how much competition there is in that family.
Jordan, I don't know if you and Coach Long have talked about this. I actually had a guy ask me in the barbershop today, and I had to verify it with Coach Tibbs. It's the first year in 7 years that Summertown and Loretta boys won't play in a district championship against each other.
We actually talked about that today. Whoever wins Friday night will extend that streak.
Right.
And so that's pretty impressive.
But I was telling the guy, I said, it's kind of almost. They said, well, Summertown, God, they're young. So they'll be right back there, and they'll be competing for those district regions. I said, yeah. I said, but it's kind of like how great Tennessee's doing in the recruiting and football. I said, their number one rival is right there with them. I said, Loretta's real young too. So I said, it's that war's just going to keep going.
Right. And every game we play against Loretta's close. I think we looked back, and since Gavin's junior year, I think the largest margin of victory has been 9 points. Right. And I think there's been several overtime games, and just every time we play, it's a good matchup.
Yep.
So looking forward to it Friday night. Expect another good game.
Right.
And packed house. I mean, in that gym there in Mount Pleasant, you guys packed it out there a year ago. What kind of atmosphere you guys think you're going to be stepping into there on Friday?
Oh, yeah, it'll be a huge night. I think it'll be a huge crowd. And I know Coach Tibbs will have his guys ready. They're always ready to play. Summertown Loretta, who's not ready. So we'll have to step up our game, and we'll have to be ready to play, and hopefully we can get a win.
Right. And, in that rivalry, there's not many surprises. We've seen each other so many times. So you got to come out and play the game. You got to knock down shots. You got to play good defense, and hopefully the crowd shows up and it's a good atmosphere, and we see a good ball game.
Yeah, I think it'll really be one of those with two young teams, but both two young teams are so athletic. I mean, you have these 3 sophomores for Summertown. You've got this group of freshmen in Bowie for Loretta.
This is going to be several years.
Well, I mean, I think honestly, it's a cliche, but I think the team that makes the fewest mistakes in this game is probably going to be the one that wins.
I think one thing we have we have some tournament experience with some of these young guys they got to play last year with Grayson and Cole and even Weston Pig. They've got a little bit of tournament experience, so we're going to rely on that heavily.
Right.
Those guys are going to be our leaders.
Yeah, you've been here to lead us.
Yeah,
right.
So we're looking forward to it.
You've talked about your youth and their youth, and like I just mentioned, I mean, you guys are going to see a lot of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, in every sport, you're going to see them in baseball, you're going to see them in basketball, and what's it like knowing this rivalry is as competitive in all the sports that it is?
Yeah, it's always fun. If you ain't, like I said, if you're not ready to play Loretta on any given night in any sport, then you don't have it. You got to be ready to play, and they're always bringing their A game too, and we'll definitely be ready Friday night.
there's nothing like playing Loretto.
Yeah.
I mean, we get up for playing Lawrence County and our other district rivals, but Loretto's the game we circle.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter what sport it is, that's who we look forward to playing each year. So.
And they're the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by, and good luck on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, and coming up next, well, we might have some food, or we might talk about some sports. We'll find out.
Well, we can just eat some food and talk about sports.
Well,
I can
multitask. What we're going to do. It's what we do best, Clint. Yeah. Well, that's coming up next here on xSports Live.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Cares has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website at southeastcarriers.com or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Got primary care? Find your way to better health with Primary Care by One Stop Medical. With decades of combined experience, you'll find a one-on-one relationship just like the old days, but with the convenience and technology of today. When One Stop Medical does primary care, it's the best. Call today for an appointment and find your way to healthy living. Serving Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Hohenwald. Phone 931-244-8220. Primary Care by One Stop Medical at its best.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back to xSports Live. Now joined by Trent Weigel here, the owner at Hinie's BBQ. And Trent, brought us out some sausage, man. What you tell us about?
Yes, sir. We have. They're diving in already over here.
Yeah, I ate a bite. I need to take a drink.
So this is our made in-house, our house-made jalapeno cheddar sausages. And I brought out some of our house-made Carolina mustard sauce and some crackers. Dude, it's hard to go wrong with that house-made sausage. So we grind the brisket in-house, we grind the pork in-house, mix our seasonings up, grind it again with the seasoning and the jalapenos in it, and then mix the cheddar cheese in, run it through a stuffer. Then it sets in the cooler overnight and lets all that casing and all the juices and everything kind of meld together, and then we cold smoke it. Then it goes back in the cooler for another night, and then it's ready for grilling and serving. And buddy, that's the way to eat it right there. Yeah. Dusty knows what he's doing. Y'all got it figured out. Put the cracker and the mustard sauce with the sausage. It's good stuff.
Pretty good hors d'oeuvre.
Every time I ask you about how this is literally how the sausage is made.
Yep.
No pun intended or no cliche there. But is there anything you guys do that, other than your hamburgers, that's not time consuming like this is?
No, but that's what makes it good.
Exactly.
I mean, it's time and ingredients. I mean, when you spend the time to make it yourself, it makes a difference. When you buy good meats, we've got good brisket going in there, which that's the same brisket that we serve in the restaurant, and we take that brisket and the pork. And matter of fact, this sausage, I'll let you guys in on a little bit of a secret there. It not only has brisket and pork in it, but it has a little bit of the rib trimmings in it as well, and that gives it just a little more sweet flavor chew on top of it.
I was getting worried he was about to say it was a horse.
That's about the whole thing.
Which is still good.
Still good, but no, it's got a little bit of rib meat,
a
little bit of pork butt, and a little bit of brisket in it, all mixed together, and it just makes a phenomenal sausage. Now let me tell you what gets really good.
Oh.
And when I get everything settled, I'm trying to get this on this is coming on the menu all the time.
Okay, so it's permanent.
It's getting ready to be permanent. We're getting ready to put an insert on our menu right now, but also to kind of bring back the fair. One thing I did every year when I went to the fair was get my Italian sausage dog with the peppers and onions.
Yes.
And we're not going to have an Italian sausage dog here, but we're going to have the jalapeno cheddar sausage dog. So we got a big hoagie roll. We grill up the peppers and onions on the grill with that, and then for me, it's mustard, ketchup, hot sauce, and get out of my way. I'm diving in, and it makes a big mess because the more hot sauce you put on it, the better, and it is phenomenal. Now, one more addition you can do to that, and I did it with one the other day. Not only did I put the peppers and the onions and the hot sauce and all that, I also put some white queso over the top of it, and then I had to get the knife and fork out.
Right. I was going to say that.
Where did you come up with the sausage?
So that recipe we created about 3 years ago when we had the Hinie wagon, when we had the which we still have it, it's just hadn't been out in a while. But we created that recipe about 3 years ago, and have just been waiting to introduce it here until we got the staff trained up. We've got a lot more tricks up our sleeve, a lot more stuff coming. It takes time. When you're new, you've got to get everybody trained.
You got to master the little things.
You've got to master the little things and try to master each one, and then move on to another one and another one. Steaks are coming soon.
Yeah.
So a whole lot of stuff coming down the road, but we just got to take those baby steps and get everybody trained up, and that way you have a good experience. Hopefully every time that you come.
Hey, I got the chicken leg quarters or the
yes.
Ordered them. 5 minutes later, they were right in front of me, just as hot, just pulled right off the bone. It was great.
Those leg quarters are good.
Of course, I was eating them like it's my last meal too.
Well, that's okay.
It was just going.
I know you mentioned the steaks, but what other kind of barbecue items are you wanting to add?
Some more items that are coming is we've done it a little bit, but one thing I want to put on the menu all the time is a smoked turkey breast.
Yes.
That's something that you see down in Texas a lot. A lot of people do not eat the pork or the brisket, and a lot of people get tired of chicken and they want a different alternative. And let me tell you something, a smoked turkey breast, if it's done right where it's not dried out, oh my gosh, they're phenomenal. So we do those, and I do it two ways. I do it with the traditional seasoning like we put on our leg quarters, and I call it my house-made chicken seasoning, which we make all of our seasonings in-house too, so that's another little painstaking thing we do. But then I do one Texas style, which is salt, pepper, just salt and pepper, and for me, heavy on the pepper side of it. Now that's the way I made the first one when I carried it out in the restaurant. A lot of people were like, "Ooh, this is warm," but I had 4 or 5 couples that were like, "That's the one that we want." Matter of fact, we were advertising some turkey breasts that we had for sale the other day, and that one lady commented, "Is it the salt and pepper ones?" I was like, "No, it's not those." But so we're going to end up doing both turkey breasts, the salt and pepper for those that really like that pepper kick, and then the traditional, which is like what you had on the leg quarters today, which is not quite as hot, but still has a really good flavor. Another thing we've got coming down the line is our smoked pork loin.
Okay.
And those are
phenomenal. Smoked meatloaf is coming. It's really good. So just a lot of things still left to come down the pike. We had most all of that on our pit pass night here a few weeks back. And we're getting ready to roll that out again. Looks like Saturday, March the 4th.
The 4th, okay.
We're going to wear that out again and see what happens. So we're really excited to roll that out and provide something really unique and different for Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County.
Like you said, it was packed house here. You had people out the door. And, word's out now. You guys.
Word's out on that night. That night was crazy.
I've thought a lot about that, like, because I've been on the road a lot lately. How did you said, well, you had 18 meats, 17 meats?
18 different proteins,
How did you find 18 different, did you just see a truck and go, I want that?
You just start saying, look, we're going, I mean, it's stuff that we've cooked in the past.
Right.
And you know, we've been catering for a little over 10 years now. And it's things that we've done that we wanted to bring together all at one whack. Now, there was a couple things that I had never done before. That smoked tri-tip was the one, and oh my gosh!
You had tri-tip?
We had tri-tip, and let me tell you something. We cold smoked it and then put it on the char grill really hot, and I used the same seasoning on it that I do on my filet mignon steaks. And oh my goodness gracious alive, that stuff was incredible. So tri-tip's coming back March 4th, and already securing orders with my suppliers, telling them this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, making sure that we're going to have everything here. And it's going to be one fun, crazy evening.
We're certainly looking forward to it.
Me too.
Thanks for bringing out the sausage, and look forward to seeing you again next week, Trip.
Sounds like a plan. We will be here.
All right, coming up next, me and the guys tackle some of the topics going on today in the world of sports.
Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
Whether you're looking to spruce up the interior or exterior of your home or business, trust Lawrenceburg Glass to provide a one-of-a-kind product. From windows to mirrors, shower doors, custom framing, storefront installations, and everything in between, Lawrenceburg Glass takes pride in our quality craftsmanship and strong attention to detail. With us, your customer experience always exceeds expectations. We're reliable, on time, and we deliver stunning results. Lawrenceburg Glass. Our passion is reflected in our work.
Hello everyone, this is Eric Schultz. On behalf of Cade and the entire Schultz family, we would like to say thank you. Thank you for all the love, all the support, and most importantly, the prayers. 1 Peter 5:10 reads, "But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that you have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you." We want to thank God for his grace. Go Wildcats.
Like you, our roots are in Lawrence County, providing banking for every stage of life since 1934. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank has been not just your bank, but also your friend, helping you with home loans, consumer and auto loans, and your everyday personal banking needs. Lawrenceburg Federal offers you a warm smile and personal experience, as well as the conveniences of modern-day online banking, mobile banking, and telebanking. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, your neighbor and friend, located at 118 West Gain Street next to the courthouse.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back here to xSports Live. Dusty and Clint now joining me, and we're going to talk about some of the topics going on in sports. Obviously, we kind of hit on the Super Bowl a little bit. We talked some about the game. Dusty, what were your thoughts? Me and Clint talked about, but what were your thoughts about the Super Bowl?
Hey, I thought it was a great game. High-scoring game. It's fun to watch. My Alabama guy, he didn't win, but hey, I don't know. I'm not going to get off on some of the rant about it, but I think it was a great game.
Well, and you might not have cared who won, kind of like I didn't.
Well,
but you can't say it wasn't a good game.
Oh, it was a great game. Hey, and I thought Jalen Hurts played well. Hey, Kansas City. I mean, that's the best defense that they played all year against the run.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It was a good one.
Now, that everyone's talking about it, was that holding or not? Defensive holding.
I think it was holding.
Weak. It was weak.
But I want to say this. There were 65 pass plays in the game. And there was 2 pass flags thrown, and they were thrown against Philly. One was offense, and then, of course, that one being defense. So I know we talk about, in sports, we talk about officiating, being consistent on both sides. Yeah. So how do in an NFL game do we have 65 pass plays and only 2 flags thrown?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, so can we say that caused the game, that caused them to lose, or can we just say the fumble did and get away from it?
Well, that's you can't use one without using the other.
Exactly.
Right. Hurts fumbled and didn't get hit.
Yeah.
That's a walk-in score. So, yeah.
Hey, I tipped my hat to Andy Reid.
Yeah, I did too. I tipped my hat to Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought right before halftime, I thought he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, that ankle that rolled under him on that tackle, and he got up very gingerly. I don't know what they shot him full of in that locker room, but man,
he said nothing.
He came out and played great.
He did. He played awesome second half.
Now, it's Kansas City's second Super Bowl championship in the last 4 years. I heard this debate on one of the sports talk shows I was listening to driving to Nashville yesterday. At one point, what is your criteria to call them a dynasty? They're not a dynasty now at just 2. I think we all can agree with that. But what does it take? What's your kind of time frame? How many do they need to win to become a dynasty?
Have they only been to 3?
3 with this team, yeah.
Yeah.
3 with this team, yeah.
Would you consider the Bills a dynasty?
They didn't win it. I mean,
I know. I'm talking about, but they went to 4 straight.
Yeah. Well, Kansas City's been 5 straight.
All right. So Kansas City's been to 5 straight Super Bowls?
NFC championship games. AFC championship.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. But I don't put them in the dynasty category. But
I think 4 or more.
4 more?
Getting to 4 or winning 4?
I think getting to 4.
I think if they win 1 more, you put them in a dynasty. You win 1 more.
Absolutely. Well, the argument I heard was they're talking about the time frame. Like one guy said the 49ers of the 80s wasn't a dynasty because it took them 9 years to win 4. But I would argue they made it to 2 other NFC championship games. I'm biased. I'm a 49er fan, but don't you think you're the team of the 80s?
If you won 4 out of 9, then that means everybody else in the league only had 5 other opportunities.
Right. So do you think that they need to win one within the next 3 or 4 years to consider to be a dynasty, or maybe the next 2 to 3 years?
I think so. I mean, we consider the Cowboys in their 90s a dynasty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's looking about the same criteria.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is going to be is how much longer is Andy Reid going to go?
Yeah.
Is he going to hang around? If they was to hit a stretch where they don't go to 2 or 3.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I said it after the Super Bowl. Mahomes and Kelsey may be the new Brady Gronk.
Oh.
They really are. And if Andy Reid does go, and I'm proud for Andy Reid, and how, I wonder what it was in his mind thinking I'm coaching against the Eagles.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Right.
But
they didn't play it up as much as I thought.
Yeah, I really figured that'd be a bigger deal than what they made it. But I'm pretty sure that if Reid left tomorrow, they could get a real good coach in that job.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I don't think they're hunting.
No. Well, I mean, the best guy they got's their offensive coordinator,
right,
who for some reason he must be the worst interview ever because they've had all these jobs open. He's interviewed for some of them, but he's never gotten one.
Right.
It's mind-boggling to take a project like Patrick Mahomes, who's very talented, but not many people held them at the regard that
Too
the
short,
Chiefs did.
doesn't have the arm strength. Look what he does. Look what he's done.
Played in an air raid offense where they threw it 70 times a game.
Right. And that's been the thing, you know, I think this year with Andy Reid getting the new running back, he's changed
Pacheco,
it. You know. But you know, Patrick Mahomes don't have to throw it 45 times.
Right. Yeah. Now, another thing I heard, and they brought this up, and it's going to be a different question than where you guys think I'm going to go with this. LeBron James was there. They popped up his picture on the video board, and he was unanimous. You know, he was booed all around. There wasn't any cheers. He just broke Kareem's record. It's a great record. Now, the two guys I were listening to brought up some good points about why people don't think he's the GOAT. Now, this isn't a him versus a Jordan conversation, but why do you think that people don't like LeBron?
Well, I think to me, and I don't not like LeBron. I respect everything he's done. I mean, you know, he's 19 years?
20.
Yeah.
This is 20th.
He started in 2003. The 2003-04 season was his first year.
Right. So this is his 19th year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he's done it at a high level every year.
Yeah.
And I don't. He's been to 9 finals.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, he's lost 6 of them.
Yeah.
But he's been to 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 5 of them. He's lost 5 and won 4.
Yeah, he's won 4.
I thought he
Yeah.
did 10 and lost 6.
Maybe.
Hey.
But either way, I think when you start saying, when you make a statement, say, this is why I'm the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Well, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
His name's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And most people think that, and I just think you start team build, you start putting together dynasty teams, superstar teams, and then you don't win.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You brought up 2 of the points that they brought up. Dusty, what
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, and I meant to screenshot it. I seen it the other day on social media. Somebody had posted a picture of Jordan with all his accolades, and then it had LeBron's. And so we don't have a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
Well, then if you scrolled underneath it, it had how many top 5 players Jordan had played with versus how many LeBron had played with.
All-Stars. I think, played with 2 All-Stars?
Jordan played with 2 All-Stars, and LeBron's played with
16
or 16 or 17.
Yeah, unreal.
And then like top 5 or top 15 picks, and then on all this stuff, and it's like you bounce from one team to the other. And
well, and it's kind of like what I said last week. You know, about the Bulls were the best team, the Lakers were the best team with Kobe.
Yeah. The
Warriors
and Celtics were the best in the
80s.
The
Warriors the best team in LeBron's era.
Yeah.
You know, those first 2 championships LeBron won. I don't care what anybody says. Dwayne Wade was the best player on that team.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue.
He was.
Yeah.
So, you know, 2 out of his championships, he wasn't even best player on.
Yeah. Cleveland, he was clearly the best.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
And I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I honestly have him in my top 5.
Yeah.
He single-handedly beat
Yeah.
Golden State. Now, he had Kyrie, who was playing really good at the time, but he beat the Warriors with Durant by himself.
Yes,
And that Cleveland team probably shouldn't even got to the finals.
Right.
You know, Boston probably was a better team than they were that year.
They were handpicked, you know.
And now that was one year when I said, okay, he's going to make a case for himself to be in the conversation. But ever since then, he went to L.A. Yeah, he put together one team and won it all. But
that was in the bubble.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you guys were hitting on some of the points that they talked about. It's the joining the mega teams. It's the saying I'm the best, saying I'm the greatest, demanding respect. And you know, a lot of it, they also brought up like all the talking heads that you see on ESPN, you see on Fox Sports, are just praising the guy, saying he should get all these superstars should join him in LA. I mean, that's not his birthright, you know. He doesn't deserve that.
I love what Charles Barkley, because Charles Barkley, he's my spirit animal. and if we could ever get I wish people would look at us like we're the Lawrence County crew of inside the NBA, because I love it. My favorite thing he ever said was him and Shaq were into it.
Yeah.
Because he felt like Shaq said, "You owe LeBron an apology," and he said, "No, I'm not giving anybody an apology."
Yeah,
and he was
Barkley,
saying,
he was saying, well, I need better players in Cleveland. He was saying, I need better players.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you got 2 All-Stars. And he said, and you just said you're the best player in the world. He said, don't act like you ain't got no help.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
And some of it is he has to inject himself in every political issue.
Yeah.
Jordan never did that. He said Republicans wear sneakers too. It's that's what kind of bothers me about him. It's the crowning himself the GOAT before he even got in that stratosphere. Now he's lived up to the hype that he came out of high school with, and that's good on him. It's the joining the mega teams. It's the he's trying so hard to prove to everybody that he's more than an athlete. Like, we know, dude. Like, you don't need to make a series about it that no one watches. It's kind of this I'm better than you and I know it attitude, I think, really throws a lot of people off, including me.
Well, Jordan played 14 years.
Yeah.
Jordan went to North Carolina for 3, so he didn't get straight out of high school.
Yeah.
So that's how
he skipped a season and a half to play baseball.
And he wasn't told he was the best.
Basically retired for 2 years in the mid-'90s, then retired 2 years and came back and played with. So if you don't think for a second that if he had played those 4 years, LeBron wasn't chasing Kareem's record. He'd have been chasing Jordan's scoring record.
Yes. I mean, and also and they also brought up this point, this was a couple years ago, like when you compare who Jordan had to go through as compared to who LeBron had to go through, like who was really LeBron's challenge in he beat the Pistons, after the Pistons won a championship. Okay, but that was a shell of the team they used to be. Garnett, Allen, Pierce, the original big 3 in Boston. He had to overcome them. But look at who Jordan had, the bad boy Pistons. He had to get past Bird and the Celtics, even though they were kind of on the downslope. An emerging Indiana team, an emerging Orlando team with Shaq.
That put him out the year he came back.
Yeah. Exactly. So he was facing, Atlanta was really good. I mean, the East was so stinking good. It was almost like by the time you made it to the finals, you knew they were going to win.
Well, and it drives me. And again, I give LeBron a lot of respect for how long and high level he's played for so many years. I mean, he's a freak. But I do get it drives me crazy when I see people put posts on how the 80s and 90s players weren't as talented as what is today. Well, maybe athletically I can see maybe faster, the game was played different, but that's another thing that just goes in Jordan's favor.
Exactly.
He had a team that literally made Jordan rules that if they'd played, if the bad boys played in today's NBA, they'd all be fined and suspended.
Yeah. They would never get to play.
They'd never play.
And that's what I've always said about LeBron. I don't think he could have played back. I mean, he was big enough to play back then. He is now, but I think he's too soft.
I think it's the mental
part.
Yeah,
the mental part of it.
That the Pistons broke down a lot of teams.
When Lambeer clotheslined him coming in the paint one time, that'd be the end of it.
Well, and you're 100% right. But the best part about that whole debate to me is Jordan 6-0. All right, LeBron's 3 or 4 and 5, maybe 4 and 6. Maybe he's been to 9, maybe he's been to 10. But Jordan's route to get there and LeBron's route are totally different. And Jordan's route was I'm going to do it my own and I'm going to build this up and do it. LeBron had to go take his talent to Miami with Dwayne Wade, who arguably was the best player in the league, maybe behind Kobe, maybe. But LeBron wasn't the best player in the league then.
No.
But he took his talents to South Beach, and they put a super team together, and 4 Hall of Famers potentially on that team. All right? And they get beat in the finals by Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry.
Dirk.
And I'm not knocking Dirk. But that big old German was a beast.
That wasn't a super team.
But are you telling me Jordan would have lost to that team?
No.
And who's the other guy you said? What'd you say his name was?
Jason Terry.
Exactly.
And J.J. Barea, who's like our son.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Jordan's not losing that game. Jordan's not losing that series.
No. Right. I agree. Well, wrapping up the segment here, we talked about the 28 guys in the 500 home run club. Now, here's the extra questions, too. Who do you think had the best batting average in that group?
Babe Ruth.
342. Who had the worst average?
I'm wanting to say Hank Aaron.
No, he hit 305.
Oh, did he?
Rafael Palmeiro.
No, Palmero is 288.
Oh, wow. Might have been Sammy Sosa, then.
Griffey or McGuire?
Sosa 273, Griffey 284, McGuire 263. There's one guy 1 point below McGuire, and that's Reggie Jackson at 262.
Well, he's missed. I mean, Reggie had a lot of strikeouts.
He batted 800 in October.
He did. So, of that group, who do you think had the most RBIs?
It'd have to be one of the older guys. I'm going to say.
I'd say Babe Ruth.
Probably Babe Ruth or Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. He had 2,297 career RBIs. Who had the least amount?
A-Rod.
Yeah. That era. McGuire did. Just 1,414.
He had so many solo home runs.
I was shocked by that, too. So who do you think had the best on-base percentage of the group?
Griffey.
I'm going to say Mantle. I'm going to say Mantle or Mays.
Think that era.
Well, I was fixing to say.
He's considered probably the greatest.
Ted Williams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
482 on base percentage.
Wow.
Ted Williams.
Teddy Baseball.
I mean,
maybe the greatest hitter of all time.
344 average. Well, actually, he does have the best batting average. I can't.
Right.
I spilled something on this and it blurted to I thought it was 340, but he has the best batting average of 344. Best on base percentage, and Ernie Banks has the worst on base percentage at 330.
Big Ernie.
So,
well, he played for the Cubs, though.
Yeah, he played for the Cubs.
Hey, first shortstop to 500. I do have a signed bat of him in my house.
That's okay. Back to Jordan though. That's one of my favorite quotes from Last Dance when they were talking about playing him or not playing him with that injured foot, and no. It was when they were trying to decide if they were going to try to bring him back for one last or go through a rebuild. And he said, look, rebuilds don't always work. He said the Cubs have been rebuilding for 82 years.
And it took them another 26.
26.
Not that we were counting or anything. Well, coming up next, me and the guys are going to rant here on xSports Live.
Whether it's popcorn, biscuits, or automotive, you need the right ingredients to achieve the best results. Heritage Automotive is proud to serve our community with a continually growing inventory. We also help our community grow by contributing to a vibrant economy, which helps build schools. I'm Keith Durham, and I'm the General Manager here at Heritage Automotive, and it's my job to make sure that you're 100% satisfied. Heritage Automotive, your hometown Chevy, Buick, and GMC dealer.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
Great food is just a short drive to Heine's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Heine's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Well, welcome back here to xSports Live. Time to end the show with the rants. What's on your mind, guys?
Dutchie said he didn't know if he had one. I've got a short one, and it's just an experience that happened in the barber shop. Impatient people. We've all been around some of those folks. I'm not going to call them out by name, even though I really want to. And I may have lost them as a customer, so it won't matter. But, you know, those people that just think their time's better than everybody else's. Well, it's a barber shop, okay? I don't do appointments. Right. It's just walk in. North End Barbershop, 306 First Street, for anybody watching. myself a cheap plug there. But it's one of those where got 3 or 4 waiting, you know. Guy sticks his head in the door. He said, "Hey, man." He said, "How long before you can get to me?" I said, "I won't be long." He said, "Well, if I leave, I won't lose my spot in line, will I?" And I said, "No." So he came back like an hour later. And of course, there were 5 new people there that wasn't there when he was there earlier, and I ran every one of them in front of him. He said, "Well, I thought you said I wasn't going to lose my spot." And I said, "You didn't. You were last earlier, and you still last." And he left. So I may have lost a customer, but I think he at least may have taught him some humility anyway.
That was a good on-the-spot line. I'm impressed with that.
Well, that's one I stole from my granddad, the legend, 92-year-old barber, James Fields, Pop. So,
great guy.
I've heard him use that before too. So I had that one on deck.
Yeah. Dusty, you got anything, man?
I don't know. It's been a tough week already for me, so I don't know.
But you were saying, and I'll help you with your rant, because I noticed it ordering parts for a Tahoe, things. Why is it so hard? Have you ever saw Old Brother Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like everywhere I went to order something or try to buy something, they said, "We get it in 2 to 6 weeks." I felt like George Clooney when he's trying to buy his Dapper Dan, said, "Like, this is just a geographical oddity. 6 weeks from everywhere." And I feel like that's what it is. Well, why is it so hard for you to get?
I don't have an answer. I mean, you know, it was people's not working.
Yeah.
You know, that's been the story in the automotive business. Nobody's working. Well, why? How are people living if they're not working? I mean, we can't get new vehicles. So it's almost like we're turning into a used car market instead of a new car dealership. But the parts business is awful. Man, that's getting to where we can't even get motor oil. And I don't know. I feel like this country is just in a bad way to go, and I don't think it's got bad yet.
I had ordered a door, a big double door for the front of my barber shop, because the other one had kind of dry rotted where it had a leak there so I was just going to replace it. 3 months. It's going to take 3 months to get that door. That just didn't make any sense to me.
Well, I had to replace another air conditioner in our house earlier this year. The guy told me, "Well, we can either get it tomorrow or you might get it before the start of summer."
Right.
But we got it the next day.
Okay.
He had a great line. He goes, "I got good news and bad news." I go, "Well, what's the bad news?" He goes, "Well, your air conditioner's out and we don't know when we're going to get the new one." I said, "What's the good news?" He goes, "Oh, summer's just right around the corner." It's a great line.
Yeah.
Great line. Well, I'm going to rant a little bit about football, and one of the things I think, how can we hear all the time, what can we do about football to make it better, to speed the game along, because everyone talks about how long these games take. My first thing, and I've talked about, everyone knows who's listened to me call games, talk about this. If you know there's a penalty, you throw a flag, and you know that they're going to decline it, first down, touchdown, turnover, just pick it up. Do you really need to announce it to everybody? It's a major pet peeve of mine. I do think that everyone should adopt the NFL clock rules. If you want to make these things go by, just, doesn't matter if it's a first down, doesn't matter if they go out of bounds.
Keep her ticking.
Yeah,
you got to use a timeout to get it.
Incomplete pass, I agree with that. I even would go with the 2-minute warning. And then if they go out of bounds in the 2-minute warning, I think high school it's not a problem, but I think it's a major issue in college.
High school, not everything gets reviewed, and you don't have to explain every penalty.
Yeah, right. and no TV timeout.
Right.
So I think that's just all across the board. If you know that they're going to pick up a flag, just just pick it up, save a few minutes. I know a lot of people complain about the TV timeouts, folks. That's not going away. I've worked in the TV industry. That's where a lot of this money comes from. They got to run the ads. It's going to happen. They got to run X amount. They've got them written in, just like in basketball and college basketball, every 4 minutes of game time. Under 16, under 12, we've all heard it. Which also goes to my final point. How can we make the experience better for everybody? I know a point NFL, college, all across the board. How about you lower your prices? How in the world do you guys tell us every year, every NFL team created a profit? And I know the difference between revenue and profit. when every single one of them are at a profit and you're charging $80 to sit in the nosebleeds, something tells me you can charge a little bit better. Do you need to charge $50 for parking for a piece of asphalt that's going to be there tomorrow? That game isn't going to be there tomorrow.
Not a lot of upkeep on that.
Yeah. At a lot of these places, these parking garages. So if you, NFL's got a blackout policy. Thankfully that they've gotten rid of that. Major League Baseball still has a blackout policy that if you don't have X amount of people, like a certain percentage of your stadium, that they don't show it in the home market. It's kind of ridiculous. So if they want more people in the stands, pro sports and now college sports, and that drives me up the wall, that they have driven these prices so high that even if you sit at the nosebleeds, you take a family of 4, you're at least spending $200.
Yeah. If tickets were only $10 a piece, you'd spend $200 with 4.
Yeah, because once you add parking, once you add gas, and now that they're starting, Florida's done this, South Carolina has done this, they're selling ticket packs at Costco. $50, 4 tickets, 4 sodas, 4 hot dogs. You know what doesn't cost $50 for college football? Sitting on your rear end at the house. Which is what a lot of people are doing. The TV revenues are there. The ad revenues are there. The sponsorships, the donors. Everybody's pouring money into this business. You don't need to charge the money that they're charging for this game. I'm getting ready to take my son to his first hockey game. On Sunday, we're going to go watch the Huntsville Havoc. $9 to sit.
Because they want people to come.
Yeah, decent seats, and they're doing pretty good attendance-wise for being a lower-level minor league team. It's going to be $9 for each for all 3 of us to go, which is going to be great. If I want to sit there at a Predators game, that's $90. The Predators aren't that good.
You better not buy them a jersey or a souvenir either.
No, exactly. Once you add everything else to it. So, and also another major pet peeve of mine, my son's 10 months old. This has happened a lot of places. It's at Tennessee. It's at Predators games. I've got to pay for a ticket for my 10-month-old son.
That's never going to sit in his seat?
Exactly. My wife is going to hold him, or I'm going to hold him, or one of our family members is going to hold him.
Right.
Why? So if you want more people to come to your games, quit talking about, oh, we need more video boards. No. Make them affordable. It's not rocket science.
My favorite, and that's a great rant. Yeah. My favorite meme or GIF or whatever you call them that I saw, it said I read where McDonald's spent $50 million on Super Bowls commercials. Yeah. Bet that freaking ice cream machine's still broke though.
Yeah. There's an app. There's an app that will tell you, that keeps track of all the ice cream machines in McDonald's, that you can follow them. So if you're about to pull in the one to know if it's broke down or not,
it'll let you know.
Yeah, it's unreal. Well, there's a couple other ones I've got coming up that I need to formulate, do a little bit more research in. But I thought, you know what? We all go through it. We all love sports. We would love to go to games, but you know what, Titans? You weren't good enough for me to spend $500 for my family to go to a game.
No, absolutely not.
You guys need to score maybe more than 20 points a game. Mike Vrabel, I'm calling you out on this. The team wasn't that good.
To watch.
And I'm not paying that money to go watch your uncreative offense and everybody play hurt. Sorry, just not going to do it.
Hey, 2 years before we go, I want to really urge, we're really grateful. I know Dusty is, I am. AJ, thank you, and Kevin for all we do. And I know everybody watching is grateful. But I'm going to try to urge people, if you can be at a lot of these games, tournament time, go. These teams need home crowds. They need, they need to hear you. They need to see you. So, yeah, if you can't watch it, we'll have them covered for you. And, if you just can't, we understand. But if you can go buy a ticket, go support these people.
Especially Friday
these kids
night
live.
here.
Yes.
I'm
going to call out the student section. I'm calling out the student section right now.
Yeah, we see packed houses at Mount Pleasant. We want to see it here in Lawrenceburg. Well, for Dusty Kaiser, Clint Brazier, I'm AJ Gooden. From our producer extraordinaire, Kevin Wright. Have a great evening. Pair of games coming up tomorrow night from Mount Pleasant. We'll see you guys then.
This is the xSports Network.